covering Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. This is ABC 12 News at 11. Starting with breaking news.
That breaking news tonight, a terrifying scene near a Flint ice cream shop as shots ring out during what Flint police confirm to ABC 12 as a drive-by shooting. Chief
Terrence Green tells us a 6-year-old girl was sitting in a car and was shot and was then taken to a nearby hospital. On Corona Road this evening. And Tiffany, what do we know first of all about the condition of that little girl?
Yeah, Angie, police tell us that the girl is okay. She's actually okay and in good condition. She was taken in a private car to Hurley Medical Center after the shooting here. So I am at Corona Road and Bolton Road, and we are near the Banana Boat ice cream shop, where it's normally a safe and family-friendly establishment for families. But like you said, tonight, Flint police did confirm with us that a 6-year-old girl was shot during a drive-by shooting in front of the ice cream shop. Police tell us that the girl was sitting in a vehicle located on Corona Road at the Banana Boat ice cream shop when the shots were fired. And like I said, she was taken in a private car. The video that we did get earlier shows that vehicle at the hospital there, a burgundy vehicle. That vehicle took the girl to the hospital where she is listed in good condition. Now, we are still here at the ice cream shop in front of it. We were actually told that there are still employees here at the ice cream shop inside. They normally close at 9 o'clock, but they are still inside there. So right now, we don't know much information about a suspect. Police say they do not have a suspect, but are still out here investigating the scene. There are people out here, MSP and Flint police. They are just looking at the scene over here in the back, and still roped off here at Walton Road and Corona Road. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated about this on air and online and bring you the very latest updates. Live in Flint, Tiffany Maddox, ABC 12 News.
Certainly our thoughts with that 6-year-old's family. Thank you so much, Tiffany. And as Tiffany mentioned, stay with ABC 12 as we continue to learn more about this breaking situation. We will continue to have updates on this story on our social media platforms you see right there on your screen.
Developing story this evening, Flint City Council members failed to pass its budget tonight. Tonight, Council held a special session to adopt the 2024-25 budget. Only 4 of the council members approved the spending package. However, we are told some council members couldn't agree on certain parts of the budget.
It's up to the people to hold their elected officials accountable. And so we just need to realize who voted not to pass the budget tonight. And if it matters to the residents, then, hold them responsible, because we're here to do the business of the city. We can't do the business of the city without the proper amount of votes.
We're told the city has a deadline of Monday to get that budget approved. No word yet on when the council is expected to take up the plan again.
New at 11, the state will partner with the city of Flint to help manage and pay for yard and road repairs at nearly 1,850 homes where water pipes have been inspected. In March, the city was found in civil contempt by a judge after going past deadlines to get the work done. It comes after a water switch in 2014 that caused lead to leach off old pipes. According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, between 10,000 and 11,000 lead or galvanized steel pipes have been replaced. The work will likely cost more than $4.6 million. The motion filed by the state of Michigan today proposes to complete restoration no later than August 1st, 2025.
Time now for a check of our Storm Tracker 12 forecast. A live look outside tonight from our Flint Sky Cam. Beautiful skies earlier in the evening. Not many clouds in our sky, and still clear out there tonight, so we know what that means.
Yeah, it was actually pretty chilly out there this evening. Let's check in out with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist J.R. Kurtek. Be a good few days to get outside once it warms back up.
Yeah, we'll have a nice recovery in temperatures tomorrow, but with no blanket of clouds overhead. Right. Yeah, the temperatures have been tumbling quickly. We already have some readings into the low 40s across parts of mid-Michigan. We have a clean sweep on Storm Tracker 12 Doppler radar. That stuff you see near big rapids, nothing more than what we call ground clutter or anomalous propagation of the radar. So again, clear skies, no precip anywhere across lower Michigan. We will have a pretty clean sweep on the radar here for a couple of days. I don't think until late Saturday will we have our next chance of seeing a little something. Off to the south and east, that's the weather system that brought us our storms yesterday evening. You can see how those are fading as they move toward the right coast. And back out in the nation's high plains, yeah, some severe thunderstorms this evening. Still some activity there over the western Dakotas. Right now it's 50 degrees in Flint, northeasterly wind at 6. In Saginaw it's 51 degrees, east-northeasterly wind at 5 miles per hour. And your forecast for Thursday, calling for wall-to-wall sunshine, temperatures recovering very quickly. Some of us, again in the morning, will dip down into the upper 30s, but by the end of the day we'll have the 70-degree mark surrounded with very light winds, but onshore winds. So that means the Lake Huron shoreline communities will stay cooler than everyone else.
All right, JR, thank you. New tonight, an Illinois man was formally charged in connection with the shooting death of a Saginaw woman on Sunday night. 63-year-old Willie Allen is accused of driving from his home in Illinois and shooting his former girlfriend, 47-year-old Kenya Collins. Allen is also accused of shooting and injuring another man at the home on Cathay on Saginaw's east side. Investigators say Allen then took Collins into his SUV and drove away. Police spotted the vehicle and say Allen rammed his SUV into a police car and also fired more gunshots. Police returned fire, but no one else was injured. Collins died from her injuries. Allen is being held in jail with no bond.
The woman accused of shooting and killing a 20-year-old woman outside a gas station on Flint's north side now facing a murder charge. 28-year-old Shahana Patrice Thorns was arraigned today, charged in that incident that happened early Sunday morning at the Marathon gas station on Saginaw Street and Carpenter Road. Thorns is accused of shooting 20-year-old Isis Walker during an altercation. She faces up to life in prison with no chance of parole if she's convicted. Investigators have not said what led up to the shooting. 3 girls received treatment after police say they consumed cannabis gummies at McMonaco Elementary School on Tuesday.
The Mount Morris Township Police Department says they determined the 13-year-old girls were high. School officials contacted the girls' parents and they went to Hurley Medical Center for precautionary examinations. Police say the girls claimed they received cannabis from another female student, but that student denied any knowledge of the situation when questioned. Authorities searched her items at school and didn't find any cannabis products.
And tonight we're hearing from Westwood Heights School District on the incident. In a statement, they say, in part, please be assured that this incident is still under investigation and we are taking all necessary steps to ensure the safety and well-being of our students. They also ask parents to talk with their children on the dangers of consuming substances.
Continuing coverage now 4 years after the failure of the Edenville and Sanford dams, which led to catastrophic flooding across multiple communities. The legal fight over the restoration of the dams now reaching a Midland County courtroom today.
At issue, should the appeal of a special assessment district by some landowners be allowed to proceed? Our Terry Camp brings us the scene from the packed courthouse as 2 sides disagree on the best way to move forward.
This is the largest assessment in the state of Michigan's history, special assessment.
That is according to Michael Homier, the attorney for the Heron Cove Association. Its members are appealing the special assessment district that has been approved by the Midland and Gladwin County Board of Commissioners. The appeal hasn't slowed construction on the 4 dams that were either destroyed or needed to be restored after the May 2020 flooding disaster, but it could prevent future work if the funding plan to bring back the lakes is halted. The legal battle has strained relations in the communities impacted. Midland County Circuit Court Judge Michael Beal scolded some in attendance after he made a statement that drew some laughter.
Hey! Knock it off! You're out of here. I warned you when we started. This is the last time I'm warning anybody.
Homier questioned how the 4 Lakes Task Force came up with the special assessments, which are expected to generate more than $217 million to restore the lakes.
You've got to question now whether the properties are benefited to the tune of $217 million. You'd have to. That's a huge increase in a short period of time.
The appellants assert that the appellees arbitrarily drew a special assessment district, found a revenue number they needed, and divided it among the properties in the lake level special assessment district. Not true.
Joe Kalani represents the counties and the 4 Lakes Task Force.
There's something different going on here with this organization, that I don't believe there are people who truly understand what this is all about.
He says future work on the dams is in jeopardy.
We cannot move forward with the project without additional financing.
Homier denies his clients, believed to be more than 800 in all, are holding up the restoration of the dams.
My clients aren't holding anybody hostage. I mean, if this had followed the normal process, the assessments are done, the appeals play out, then you fund. It's just that they went out of order.
And that was our Terry Camp reporting. The work that has already been done on the dams has come mainly from the state government. Judge Beal says he knows people are waiting on his decision and hopes to make a ruling soon. Be sure to stay with ABC 12 as we continue to follow developments in this story.
The U.S. Coast Guard station in Detroit helped to rescue 2 kayakers Tuesday night in Lake Huron. The Coast Guard launched the helicopter crew to conduct a shoreline search of Charity Island. During the search, the 2 kayakers were located and rescued. Both kayakers were taken to Wurtsmith Air Base in Oscoda, where they were met by emergency medical services. The Coast Guard says the kayakers were medically stable when they transferred them to EMS.
So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
So if you are accused of driving with a suspended license, probably not a good idea to show up to a virtual court hearing while driving.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened during one hearing in Washtenaw County earlier this month. And the judge, as you can see in the video, could not hide his shock.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driver while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
When the defendant, Corey Harris, connected via Zoom, he could be seen, as you see here, right behind the wheel. He even said that he was pulling up to his doctor's office. The judge revoked Harris's bond and ordered him to turn himself into jail. Court records show Harris was charged with driving with a suspended license back in October of last year.
Oh, probably not a good idea. Yeah. Coming up next at ABC 12 News at 11, jurors in the hush money trial against former President Donald Trump beginning deliberations in the case. Details as the jury asks to rehear instructions and testimony.
Plus, a Bay City pastor has come down from the roof of the Great Lakes Dream Center after raising more than $75,000 to help people without homes. JR?
Getting around town tomorrow in the morning or in the afternoon, but in the morning with that sun low in the eastern sky, make sure you have sunglasses if you do any traveling toward the east. Bright sunshine. That should be bright sunshine. No showers tomorrow at all. We'll have mostly sunny skies through the afternoon, too. We'll tell you how long we'll hold the sunshine.
The 12-person jury in former President Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial started deliberations today, moving them one step closer to deciding Trump's legal fate.
No decision was reached. However, jurors requested to rehear the judge's instructions along with testimony from key witnesses. ABC's Rena Roy has more from the courthouse in New York.
Donald Trump returning to Trump Tower tonight, waving to supporters after the first day of jury deliberations in his historic hush money trial. About 3.5 hours in, the jury of 12 New Yorkers sending a note asking for readbacks of testimony from former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and Trump's former attorney Michael Cohen. One request for their testimony about a Trump Tower meeting with Trump in August of 2015, where prosecutors said the 3 men hatched a conspiracy to corrupt the 2016 election.
It tells us that they're taking the prosecution's theory at least seriously. They're asking a lot of questions already about this 2015 meeting at Trump Tower, which prosecutors argued was the beginning of the scheme between David Pecker and Michael Cohen and Donald Trump.
Late this afternoon, the jury sent a second note asking to rehear the judge's instructions to them, which were lengthy and complex.
The jurors don't get to take the jury instructions back with them into the jury room. So if they have any questions about what the law is, they literally have to ask the judge to reread it in court.
The jury of 7 men and 5 women weighing whether to convict Trump on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in that payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels ahead of the election. The jurors given a laptop to use during deliberations loaded with nearly 300 pieces of evidence, including the checks Trump signed to reimburse Cohen, who wired Stormy Daniels the money, and the invoices Cohen sent that mentioned a retainer agreement he said did not exist. The judge telling jurors they can't convict Trump on Cohen's testimony alone, being that he's an accomplice to the alleged crime unless his testimony is corroborated by evidence. In other words, even if you find the testimony of Michael Cohen to be believable, you may not convict the defendant solely upon that testimony unless you also find that it was corroborated by other evidence. Trump has pleaded not guilty and denies any sexual encounter with Daniels. Jurors will be back to resume deliberations Thursday morning. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Stay with ABC 12 as jury deliberations continue, and we will bring you the latest developments in the case.
Convicted murderer Scott Peterson appeared in court remotely today. His lawyers are asking that they retest DNA evidence in the murder of his pregnant wife, Lacey Peterson, more than 20 years ago. At issue is a mattress found in a burned out van. Investigators were never able to determine if blood discovered on that mattress belonged to Lacey or her unborn child, and it is unlikely that will be resolved. The judge ruled against allowing new DNA testing of prior evidence, but said duct tape found on Lacey's pants could be retested. Scott Peterson's team is working to get a new trial.
Well, drivers can expect some slowdowns on part of I-75 in Genesee County. The ramp from northbound I-75 to Corunna Road is closed. Crews are extending the turn lane and making other improvements over the next 3 weeks. Drivers trying to get off the freeway in this area will have to take either Miller Road or Peterson Road. The project is expected to wrap up sometime next month.
The former president of the Bay County Growth Alliance is setting the record straight about an $800,000 loan to the Bay City State Theater. Christopher Gerard says the State Theater Board was not telling the whole truth about the loan in a statement they published last week. As ABC 12 previously reported, the State Theater defaulted on the loan after they say they were misled by former Chief Operating Officer Mike Bacigalupo. Gerard says in his February 2022 meeting, board president and treasurer then acknowledged the loan and that they were working to obtain grants to repay it. The board says that they did not authorize that loan, and the two members involved had resigned shortly after. They have asked the Growth Alliance to release their mortgage on the State Theater building. Gerard says the theater board should have kept a closer eye on their financials.
It wasn't the Growth Alliance loan solely that caused the financial hardship on the organization. It was a culmination of many other debts and other decisions by the individual that ultimately caused them, I believe, to file bankruptcy from what they have said.
Bacigalupo was removed from his position as COO in November and is now under investigation. ABC 12 reached out to the State Theater Board for comment, but did not hear back at this time. For more on Gerard's comments, as well as previous coverage of the State Theater, head over to abc12.com.
A Bay City pastor is happy to be on the ground after sleeping on the roof for 14 straight nights. The event was a fundraiser for the Great Lakes Dream Center, which provides care items to unhoused individuals. Pastor Mary Johnson said she would not come down until they raised over $75,000.
It feels amazing to be able to go wherever I want, do whatever I want. It felt so exciting to get back down on the ground, but it made me take a pause and think that people who are unhoused don't have it that easy. We're just one day they can just be in their own home and be able to do whatever they want.
Johnson thanks everyone who donated to the fundraiser, which helps the center keep their lights on for another year.
Now your Storm Tracker 12 forecast.
Clear and quiet conditions right now across mid-Michigan. Nothing showing up on Storm Tracker 12 Doppler radar, and I think it's going to be a couple of days before we see anything return to mid-Michigan, and that's okay. We picked up some pretty hefty rain totals last evening with the thunderstorms that rolled across the area. Behind those storms, temperatures today stayed in the 60s, even with some bright afternoon sunshine. Tomorrow morning, even chillier, lows will settle into the upper 30s in some spots. As we take a look at the region as a whole, it is pretty darn quiet. Top to bottom and right to left. The showers that we had moved through our neck of the woods yesterday afternoon and evening, now out toward the Atlantic seaboard, much weaker than they were 24 hours ago or so. Back out in the high plains now, cluster of thunderstorms out there. There have been some severe thunderstorms during the course of the day. This thing is going to gradually work in our general direction. I think our next chance of seeing a little bit of rain or thunderstorm action will be coming late Saturday and Saturday night. In the meantime, yeah, it's going to be chilly tonight. Frost advisories in effect for much of the UP, northern Wisconsin, and the Arrowhead region of Minnesota. We, as I mentioned, will see some of us dipping back into the upper 30s, but we should stay away from the frost. There's the culprit. This is a cool core of air. It's a high pressure or fair weather cell that is drawing in the chillier air. Clockwise wind flow around that thing, giving us that very light northeasterly wind, and that's going to happen again tomorrow. So the lakeshore communities will stay a little bit chillier than everyone else away from the water's edge tomorrow. Warmer than today. I think we'll have the 70-degree mark surrounded pretty well. So here's what we can expect. Whole lot of nothing overnight except a little bit of a chill. Temperatures in the morning, yeah, some upper 30s here and there, but not near Lake Huron. Lake Huron will keep temperatures for the lakeshore communities a little bit warmer than everyone else. On the other hand, for our Thursday afternoon, Lake Huron will keep the lakeshore communities a little bit cooler than everyone else. Away from the water's edge, as I mentioned, we'll have that 70-degree mark pretty well surrounded. Not as chilly Friday morning, but we will have fair skies. Friday afternoon, more bright sunshine, temperatures moving easily into the 70s with the winds clocking back to the southwest. For Friday, more bright sunshine, 41 degrees there, upper 70s, then sunshine early Saturday, chance of thunder showers by the end of the day, 77. We'll be flirting with 80 for Sunday and Monday. We'll be into the 80s Tuesday and Wednesday, and yeah, early next week, it will be a little bit unsettled around here with some on-again, off-again showers. For the northern parts of the area, 70 bright sunshine on Thursday, but cooler near the lake. 79, everyone warmer on Friday with southwesterly winds. Upper 70s for the weekend. Again, a chance of some thunder showers late Saturday. Sunday, we'll see afternoon sunshine and then a chance of more showers Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday.
Alrighty, JR, check this out. The Saginaw Police Department announced they are teaming up with 7-Eleven to participate in Operation Chill this summer. Kids will get a free Slurpee if law enforcement sees kids doing good deeds or exhibiting positive behavior. Receiving a coupon can vary from wearing a helmet while riding a bike, picking up litter, helping a neighbor, or holding the door open.
Ooh, love Slurpees.
Yeah.
So good.
So is there age limit? Because they said kids. There's no age limit.
Oh, okay. All right,
I
you try that out. Let's see.
You do. We'll start rewarding you with a Slurpee. You let me know what flavor.
What's going on in sports today?
Well, I want a mixture of everything.
Okay.
Well, coming up in sports, we have a mixture of everything too. High school soccer playoffs and lacrosse. Plus, the Spirit and the Knights were battling for a spot in the Memorial Cup final. We'll tell you who punched their ticket up next.
Now to the Young Chevrolet Sports Report.
And welcome back. After meeting 10 times in the OHL playoffs and the regular season, game number 11 between the Spirit and London might be the biggest. Both are undefeated in the Memorial Cup tournament, and the winner would secure a spot in the Memorial Cup final. The Spirit strike first in this one. Alex Christopoulos off the assist from Josh Bloom. Cue the Whitney Houston music. Saginaw goes up 1. The Knights would score 2 goals straight to take the lead, capped off by Denver Barkey with the backhand. Knights go up 2-1. Spirit not going away. Peep this angle from Joey Willis. Too good. We have a tied game going into the third period. And with 1:30 left in the game, the OHL's most outstanding player strikes again. Easton Cohen finds the back of the net. He would score another goal on an empty netter. The Spirit lose 4-2. They'll play Moose Jaw on Friday in the semifinal.
Easton Cowan's a good hockey player. They made a sick play on entry. He's a dangerous player who scored. It was a big boy game. We played well. We're 1 shot away from the final. It's a tough way to lose in the last minute like that, but it's hockey.
I think we got kind of less confident towards the end there, and we weren't making the plays that we normally do. And in those situations, you just got to go back on what you've been doing all year, and we didn't do that, and unfortunately ended up with the back of our net.
For the second year in a row, Grand Blank's lacrosse team is playing for the regional title. Last season, they lost to Clarkston, and this time around, these Cats are hoping for a different story.
You don't let up, you don't throttle back, you just push down and you keep going harder and harder each time. How fucking right? And then it's time to leave it all out in the field. Burn the wagons and play it on for the next day. Let's go out and ball out, boys. Let's go! Yeah!
Early in the first, GB down 1 and Aiden Strader finds the back of the net to tie the game. But 1 minute later, Eagles' Drew Lockwood takes out his do-it-yourself kit, zips it in for the goal. Hartland would score 5 goals straight. Bobcats' Carson Howie would break the run in the second quarter. Watch this. He's going to be taking on the entire team. GB is down 6-2. Still, these Eagles would just keep attacking. Grand Blanc falls in the regional final 15-2. Switching over to the soccer field, Goodrich was taking on Brandon in the district semifinal. Winner moves on to play Swartz Creek. Into the first half, Martians up 2-0. And then Blackhawks' Hannah Polio started handing out saves like a coupon book. Second half now, Pulio and Anna Perry one-on-one, access denied. 10 minutes later, same situation. Perry gets the last laugh, and the Martians are moving on. They get the shutout win, 3-0. This time last year, North Branch shortstop Jordan McKnight didn't know if he would ever play baseball or even graduate from high school. Jordan was diagnosed with throat cancer, and after going through surgery and 7 rounds of chemotherapy, Jordan is back on the baseball field and better than ever. What was that day like when the doctor told him you're good to go?
He goes, "That's good because I start baseball next week," is basically what he said.
It was really God's blessing for me to be able to come out and play ball and eat and, everything. But I still have trouble with a lot of stuff, a lot of swallowing problems. But other than that, I'm almost back to 100%.
And to see this full story, head over to abc12.com or go to the ABC12 YouTube page. And also, the Tigers split their doubleheader with the Pirates today.
All right, thank you. It was a great story. Definitely worth watching. He's a strong kid.
There's no words to describe Jordan and what he went through this past year. His strength is just undeniable.
An inspirational story.
All right, thank you, Brandon JR joining us now. And it's chilly out there. Might have to have an extra blanket tonight.
Yeah, temperatures in the upper 30s tonight in some spots. Anyway, you cut it below average temperatures. Our normal low is 51. There you see our normal high, 73. We'll get close to it tomorrow, so not a bad day's worth of warming, courtesy of bright sunshine. We're above that for Friday and the weekend.
All right, JR.
Sounds good. Jimmy Kimmel Live is next. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good night.